Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Patriots. Good morning, patriotic Americans. I think everybody in the United States that loves their constitutional rights and their freedom needs to call their congressmen, their senators, and all their local governments and let them know that we don't want this assault weapon ban that they're proposing. Because if you read this assault weapon ban that they're talking about, it's talking about banning all semi-automatic pistols and rifles. So that means even 22s, if it's semi-automatic, they're gonna try to take it or ban it, which I think is, it's just retarded, in my opinion. So everybody needs to get a hold of them and say that we are Americans and we will not give up our constitutional rights. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, that of the people, not the militia, not the people, or not the military, not the government. It is of the people to bear arms. So we need to stand up and say that we will not give up our rights and give up our freedom. We need to, as a people, come together and stand together. This is a time that is really needed to stand up and stand together. Be united. Because if we don't get united now, we're going to get divided. And they're working hard to divide us by race, by religion. They're trying to divide us by confusing our kids about gender. Our kids are being taught that there's more than one gender, or more than two genders, more than two genders. Our kids are being taught that sin is okay and truth and morality is wrong. Well, they're also being taught that our Second Amendment is not necessary. It's old and it's outdated. It's not old and outdated. Our forefathers set that in motion to protect us from a tyrannical government. They knew when they wrote that someday we would have to use that Second Amendment to come together and stand against a tyrannical government. So, call your congressman and call your everybody. Just stand up. If you're wherever you're at, stand up and say, no, we will not give up our guns. Now, I'm one that kind of agrees to a point with some of the experts that things like bump stocks and all that, I don't see a use in them, but that's just my opinion. That's a device that, it's kind of, I don't know, I'm still iffy on it, but I do say that any gun that they classify as assault weapon is going to be under scrutiny. So that even means a high-point carbine 9mm rifle that shoots 9mm pistol ammo would be under scrutiny. Just because it's black and it's got the grips, as they call it, the assault grips, or the rails, assault rails, or however they're classifying these things, they're going to be scrutinizing all of these. Heck, they're going to take 22 ARs and they're going to say, hey, that's a assault AR 22. There is no such thing as an assault rifle. So you need to look up that new bill. people have been passing it around to me. So I wanted to make a video about it real quick and say that everybody needs to call them and say, we will not stand up for this. Our rights will not be infringed upon, period. I really don't think the government should have any business of knowing what guns we own or ammo we own. Me personally. It's none of the government's business to know what we have. Because we are a free people. If we allow the government to know everything we have, that includes our stockpile of food or stockpile of anything, if we let them know our cards, lay our cards on the table and say, there they are, they don't need to know that, in my opinion. They need to do their job. That's it. And their job is not to be in our business. Their job is not to babysit us. I'm sorry for these millennials and these liberal kids that are out crying, especially a fake one hog. They're just the next Nazi soldiers, is what they're falling in line for, because the Nazi soldiers did the same thing. They were up raising their fists. And they were being pawns used by the big groups, which is the Nazi group. They were being used, and they were led to slaughter. They sent them out on front line to be butchered. You think that Hitler and all them was going to go sit on front lines? Yes, Hitler did serve. But once he came in power, you think he was going to go sit on front line? No. You think all his people under him are going to sit on front? No, they're going to send the pawns out there. They're going to send them out. So what happens with gun confiscation? They're going to send the police department. They're going to send the military. They're going to send whoever to come out and attack American soldiers. How are they going to confiscate these guns? Think about that. You had that one sheriff. I seen a video of him here recently. He said, if for the people that say, pry it from my cold dead hands, he said, that's okay. We will. What is that saying? That he's willing to shoot Americans? So he's willing to come in to my home and take my guns out of my dead hands after they shot and killed me. That's disturbing. He needs to be fired for that. As for the sheriff that was down there in Broward County for the school shooting, I think he should be fired way long time ago. There's so many YouTube videos of different corrupt police departments. The police are getting corrupt. I hate to say that because I do support police in the job that they do. But when you have cops that are drawing guns on people that are doing a legal activity, like filming the police, open carrying, constitutional carrying, I don't think you should have a license to carry a gun. I think it should be constitutional, period. But you have cops out there pulling guns on people doing legal activities or constitutional activities. These First Amendment auditors, I support them because they're doing something that I don't have the stuff to do. I've got a cell phone, that's all I got. I'm working to get better equipment so I can do stuff like that. First Amendment auditors, hey, some of them go out there and get arrested for filming the police. That's all they're doing. And these police are retaliating against them. That tells you where our police department's going. That they don't like our constitutional rights. They don't like us when we flex our rights. When we tell them, no, I don't answer questions. No, you cannot search my car. And you start flexing your rights. The police don't like it. You got cops out there that will make up probable cause to search your car or arrest you. They will use bare minimum, all these different rules and laws to arrest you. Our government, sad to say, is very corrupt. I hear from friends of mine that are trying to become legal Americans. They're trying hard. They're going through the system. And they're telling me how corrupt the system is. They're telling me that it is getting harder and harder for them to become legal Americans. But they want to be illegal Americans. They want to be here legally. So they are trying to work with the system and do it right. But the system is working against them to penalize them and criminalize them. I hear it. I understand it. I've seen cops. Seen cops. I've seen FBI, and all kinds of other groups, BLM and all these others that are crooked. I've been doing my research. I've been doing, people post stuff. I go research it. I don't just act on, impulse and my emotions. I try not to. I do get frustrated with the whole situation in America, because America is so screwed up right now. Because we have allowed these liberals and communists and socialists into our colleges to teach our kids wrong and lies. I mean, flat out lies about history. We've allowed all that. So, all this stuff is happening because we have been asleep at the wheel. It's time to wake up. It's time to tell everybody, hey, enough's enough. We're not going to back down. As for these feminists and Black Lives Matter and Antifa and all these others, sorry to say, I'm one that if you come on my property, I'm going to tell you get lost. I don't care if you're my cousins, my family, and you're supporting all these groups, I'm going to tell you get lost. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And you try to tell me that homosexuality is okay. You try to tell me that all this stuff that they're pushing on our kids, all these, 52 genders or whatever it is, that they're lying to our kids. There are 52 genders. No, read the definition of a gender. 2. Male, female. These things are going weird and wacky. And we got so many people in the Democratic Party that are stupid as all get out. They don't even know what AR stands for. Armor Light Rifle. Come on, man. Look it up. They don't even know that. They call them full automatics. They're not full automatic. They are semi-automatic. Means click, 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 click. Full automatic is click until it's empty. I mean, I'm not a gun expert and I don't claim to be. So, for them trying to push this law, this assault weapons ban law, which is, there is no such thing as assault weapons, is ridiculous. It goes alongside with all these other things that are just so far out there. And as for CNN and all these others that are pushing these crisis actors out there that didn't even go to school in Florida, or at, probably going to bring up a few people saying whatever, but other places, other events that around the world, where these crisis actors have shown up, and there's video evidence of it, they need to quit pushing that crap. I hate CNN. I hate MSNBC. I hate pretty much the only one I ever watch is Fox News. But even Fox News now is getting redundant. I mean, it's just over and over and over and over and over. Same thing. It's just, oh my goodness. So I have to turn them off. I get sick of them. So the main idea of this video is call your senators, call your congressmen, call your local government, call whoever in the state you live in. As for California, you got a fight on your hands. That's a communist state. The people of California are going to have to stand up against that government out there. The government out there is turning communist real fast. We need to take California back to American values. But that's going to take the people of California to stand up and do that. I mean, because we can't come in as an outside influence and try to force it back the way it would. California people are going to have to stand up and remove all Democratic people out of office. They're going to have to do it themselves. That's going to be a fight for Californians. If you want your guns taken away, let it keep going the way it's going. Because it's going to go. You ain't going to be able to own a single, even an air rifle, heck, out there eventually. It's going to end up like England. They're wanting them to turn in their freaking knives because they don't own guns out there. But yet you got the Muslim Islam and all them people coming in and they're raping and killing their women. But yet they're too scared to stand up and fight. Same thing with Australia. You tuck your guns away, and now you got Islam and all them moving in. I gotta say, don't come to Texas. Because the people of Texas won't stand for it. You try to rape our women out here in Texas will kill you. They carry. I know a lot of them that carry. And you don't even know they're carrying. So, you know, I do these short videos talking about these points that I get told about and whatever. I'm just saying stand up now. Because if you don't, we're going to lose it all. It's going to end up like Germany. We're going to be fighting a regime that come in and tried to take us over. And we're going to end up losing a lot of Americans. It's going to be a lot of deaths. If it happens this time, my fear is it's going to get nasty. It's going to get nasty real fast. Because there's a lot of Americans that's not going to go down without a fight. And when they do, what happened in the Holocaust, I'm afraid it's going to be that big compared to what's going to happen here. I pray it never gets that far. I pray it never gets that far. I really do. Because if it gets that far, it's going to get nasty. I believe the Bible is talking about the end times. I believe we are in the end times. Because there's so many things that's coming up and coming to pass, as you want to put it, that it's the end times. I mean, it just said what it is. If we don't stand up now against evil, evil is going to overtake us. It's going to kill us. You got people in the Middle East being killed because they're Christians. Butchered and murdered. And you got people in South Africa because they're white, they're being killed. My opinion is bring the Christians here, bring the whites here. Heck, Australians saying, hey, bring the white South Africans there, bring them here, do whatever you have to do to get them out of there, let them people starve. Because within a few years, I guarantee you what's going to happen. They're going to come crawling us, asking us for help. Because they chased the farmers out. And they're over butchering and killing each other because they're stuck in a tribal mindset. Let them do it. My opinion is let them do it. Let's stand for American constitutional values. Let's stand for freedom. So we can pass constitutional values and freedom down to our kids, our grandkids. Their kids can pass it down to their grandkids. Let's keep it going. Stand up now or lose it forever. God bless. And remember, it's we the people. Have a good day and God bless.